Bluey's world is bright, playful, and full of life. But sometimes, hidden beneath the fun, there's a lesson that changes everything. And one episode might just be the most heartbreaking of them all. It all starts with the episode Camping. Bluey meets Jean-Luc, a kind and adventurous French pup. They don't speak the same language, but that doesn't matter. They plant trees together. They build stick houses. They chase wild animals through the trees. It's the kind of friendship feels like it will last forever, but forever doesn't come. One morning, Bluey wakes up and Jean-Luc is gone. No goodbye, no explanation, just gone. She doesn't understand and asks her mom why this happened. Her mom, with that soft, knowing voice, tells her,
"Sometimes special people come into our lives, stay for a bit, and then they have to go."
First, it's just about friendship, just about change. But looking back, those words feel heavier because this moment isn't just about losing a friend. It's about something much bigger. Bluey's mom is teaching her and even dropping a hint for us. That's something that stays long after the episode ends. People leave, even Bluey, sometimes without warning, sometimes forever. This is the first time Bluey experiences loss. A small one, yes, but one that plants a seed. Because one day, Bluey will face a goodbye she can't come back from. One day, Bluey herself won't be here. Even in the episode, the dump, Bluey, Bingo, and Dad head out for what seems like a normal trip. But in the middle of tossing out some old boxes, something unexpected happens. A single sheet of paper slips from Dad's hands, fluttering down among the trash. Bluey picks it up and freezes. It's a drawing of herself. Her voice is quiet when she asks,
"You're throwing away Bluey."
Dad, caught off guard, quickly shakes his head.
Any drawings you throw in this dump get mushed up and turned into new paper.
But to Bluey, feels different. Seeing her own image lying there, tossed aside with the scraps, makes her stomach twist. It isn't just a picture, it's her. And now, she's in the trash. Dad explains that the paper isn't disappearing. It will be turned into something new. It's not lost, it's changing. He says it so simply, like it's just about recycling. But the way Bluey stares at the paper says otherwise. It means more. To some, this moment feels like something bigger, like Bluey is realizing, maybe for the first time, that nothing stays forever. The idea of being thrown away, of becoming something else, is more than just a lesson in repurposing. It's a quiet echo of something deeper, of life, of endings, of what comes next. Does change mean disappearing? If something stops being what it was, is it really gone? After all, it was about loss itself, fear of being forgotten, fear of not being here anymore. Some see this as a quiet foreshadowing of Bluey's own fate, a moment that suggests in the gentlest way possible that nothing lasts forever, that even she will one day be part of the cycle. But instead of leaving her with sadness, Dad offers a different way to see it. Nothing is ever truly gone. It just changes, like the paper in the recycling bin, like memories that never fade, even when the people do. This leads us to the episode where everything makes sense. In the episode, Flatpack, Bandit, and Chili struggle with instructions, trying to put together their porch swing. Bluey and Bingo, meanwhile, use the leftover boxes to create their own world. First, it's just simple play, but as they build, their game becomes something deeper. It starts to look a lot like life itself. First, they crawl like tiny creatures. Then, they learn to walk. Soon, they build homes, families, and entire cities. What starts as a pile of boxes turns into an entire civilization. Time moves fast. Life moves forward. Everything grows, changes, and evolves. Bandit and Chili's story runs alongside theirs. They are building too, not just furniture, but a life. The episode moves between both worlds, showing how everything follows the same pattern. Parents build, children grow, and one day, those children move on. But then, something shifts. Bluey, now playing the role of a mother, watches over Bingo, her child. She teaches, guides, and protects, just like her own parents do for her. But before long, Bingo is ready to leave.
"Look, Mom, I built a spaceship to go and explore space."
Bluey smiles, but there's something different in her voice.
"Oh, you're always such a clever thing."
It's a phrase we've heard Chili say before. Phrase full of love.
"Bye, Mom. Thanks for looking after me."
And just like that, Bluey is alone. She sits quietly, holding her cardboard cane. The world she built is empty now. Everything she made, everything she nurtured, it's all moving forward without her. That's when she looks up to hear a voice from above. It's Chili.
Hey! Up here.
But something about him feels different. She isn't just her mom anymore. She and Bandit stand above, watching, waiting. She takes a step forward. The world around her starts to fade. The cardboard, the game, the past, it all drifts away. The only thing left is light, soft, warm, endless light. And then, a hand reaches out. Not Bandit's, not Chili's, something else, something greater. The hand lifts her, guides her, take her beyond. And then, peace. The scene changes. Bluey, Bandit and Chili sit together on the finished porch swing. The sky glows golden. The wind is soft. The world is quiet. They sit there side by side, looking out at something endless.
This is heaven.
This is not their home. This is something more. Some believe this moment is a quiet hint, a gentle way of showing what happens next, that Bluey's journey, like all journeys, must one day come to an end. But endings are not the end. She is not lost. She is not alone. She has simply gone home. And in that home, there is no fear, no sadness, no goodbye, just love, just eternity. But don't form conclusions just now. The lesson in the episode Flatpack goes beyond just life and death. It carries something even greater, the reassurance that no matter what happens, nothing is ever truly lost. At first, it seems like a simple metaphor for growing up. Bluey plays through the stages of life, from crawling to walking, to building, to creating her own family. She guides Bingo, just as her parents guided her. And then, when the time comes, she lets go. That alone is already a powerful message about the passage of time. But the real weight of the episode is in what happens after. When Bluey, now older, stands alone, the game shift. The cardboard world she built fades into the background, and suddenly, she isn't playing anymore. She is going somewhere. Chili's hand, reaching down, is more than just a parent helping a child. Mirrors something deeper, something almost spiritual. It's a moment that resembles moving beyond life itself, taking that final step into the unknown. But there's no fear in Bluey's face, only trust. This moment suggests something many people wonder about. What happens when we leave this world? Is it truly an end, or is it just a new beginning? If the episode Camping taught us that relationships leave lasting marks, and the episode The Dump showed that nothing is wasted, the episode Flatpack ties it all together. Everything changes, but nothing disappears. People we love, the moments we cherish, don't just vanish. They become something else. Bluey doesn't walk alone. Bandit and Chili, who started as parents in the background, now feel like something greater, guiding forces, watching over her journey. They are always there, always leading her forward. The episode suggests that even when someone is gone, they are never truly absent. They continue to shape us, to guide us, to be part of us. In this way, the episode doesn't just explore the idea of life after death, it shows the comfort in it, the way love lasts beyond time, the way every step we take is connected to something greater. If the episode ended here, it would feel heartbreaking, but it doesn't. Instead, we are left with something else. Hope. Bluey stepping into the light isn't just about an ending, it's about a transformation. The same way the paper in the episode The Dump gets turned into something new, or the same way Jean-Luc's friendship with Bluey still means something even after he leaves. It's a reminder that nothing is final. Even though we grow, change, and move forward, everything we've built, everything we've loved, continues in some form. Flatpack isn't just about the sadness of saying goodbye. It's about the beauty of knowing that nothing and no one is ever truly gone. So, what's your opinion? Was this just a playful adventure or something much bigger? Either way, it left us with a lesson we won't forget. Loss has always been a quiet shadow in Bluey, but when you piece it all together, one truth stands out. Bingo was never meant to stay, and one of the first times Bluey directly touched on this loss was in the episode Copycat. The episode starts off lighthearted with Bluey and Bandit going about their day, but then they find a hurt bird lying on the ground. Bluey wants to save it. She does everything she can, rushing it to the vet, hoping for the best. But in the end, it doesn't make it. For a moment, there's complete silence. No dramatic music, no comforting words, just the weight of reality sinking in. And then, Bandit, who usually knows exactly what to say, simply tells Bluey,
But there's nothing we can do.
most kids' shows would have found a way around this, maybe by letting the bird survive, or turning the moment into a quick lesson about nature. But Bluey does something different. It doesn't try to soften the truth. Instead, it shows us that sometimes, no matter how much we care or how hard we try, things don't go the way we want. This wasn't just about a bird. It was the first quiet warning. Not everyone makes it, and just like Bluey had to face this truth, so would we. Anyway, moving on to the next clue. At first glance, the episode The Dump seems like a simple episode. Bandit takes the kids to throw out some old things, and Bluey panics when she sees him toss away a drawing she made. To her, it feels like she's losing a piece of herself.
Throwing away Bluey. Ah, you're a baddie.
But Bandit explains that the paper isn't really gone. It's just changing.
Any drawings you throw in this dump get mushed up and turned into new paper.
To Bluey, this is a comforting thought, but to anyone watching closely, it's something much deeper. The entire moment mirrors the idea of reincarnation, the belief that nothing truly dies, it just takes on a new form. The message is clear. One day, we all have to let go. But even when something is gone, that doesn't mean it disappears completely. It simply becomes something else. This idea seems small in the moment, but later, it comes back in a way that's impossible to ignore. Because if this is true for a piece of paper, what about the people we love? Then, out of all the foreshadowing, the episode Flatpack is the most haunting. It starts with Bluey and Bingo playing with pieces of an old cardboard box, but as the game goes on, their play turns into something much bigger. Without realizing it, they act out the entire cycle of life. They start as tiny creatures, barely able to move. Then, they grow, learn, and become something more. And at the very end, when it seems like there's nowhere left to go, Bluey climbs toward a glowing light. For a second, it feels like she's reaching for something greater, but before she can touch it, she vanishes. It's subtle, easy to miss, but it leaves behind an unsettling feeling. This wasn't just pretend, this was a farewell, a quiet message about what happens when someone's journey comes to an end. Not everyone gets to stay, and Bingo's journey was never meant to last forever, because in the episode Sleepy Time, something different happens. From the moment Bingo falls asleep, the dream takes her away from everything she knows. She isn't in her bed or in her house. Instead, she is floating in a dark, endless sky with no sign of her real-world surroundings. But there is no panic or sense of urgency. She isn't trying to wake up or find her way back. She simply drifts, moving forward without knowing where she's going.
I have to go.
The first thing she sees is the sun, glowing bright and warm. But it isn't just a background detail. It speaks to her, telling her something that sounds comforting at first, just like chilly, but carries a much deeper meaning. Even if she can't always see it, the sun will always be there, loving her. It's an assurance, but also a warning from her own mother. She won't always be able to hold on to what she knows, but that doesn't mean it's gone. The warmth, the love, it will remain, even if it's no longer visible. This is the first sign that Bingo is about to experience a shift, one that she cannot stop. And as she moves forward, things begin slipping away. She has Floppy, her stuffed bunny, with her at first. It's a familiar presence of something safe, but it doesn't last. At one point, Floppy begins drifting away, moving beyond her reach. And even when Bingo tries to grab it, there is no way to hold on. But she doesn't cry or scream. She simply watches as it disappears into the stars. Then she reaches Pluto. The moment she lands, it becomes clear. This is not where she belongs. It is distant, cold, and empty. Nothing like the warmth of the sun or the home she once knew. And for a brief moment, it seems like she might stay. But instead, she lets go again. She releases herself from Pluto, allowing herself to fall. This fall isn't chaotic. It's slow, controlled, as if it was always meant to happen. She isn't scared, and she doesn't fight it. She simply descends, moving towards something inevitable. When she reaches the Earth, she does not try to wake up. She does not attempt to return to the stars or search for what she lost. Instead, she does something final. She buries herself. With the help of small, gentle floppies, she allows herself to sink into the ground. And just like that, she disappears beneath the earth, covered completely, and then darkness. The way this unfolds is not random. It follows a structure seen in myths, psychology, and stories about transformation. In Jungian psychology, there is an idea, the death and rebirth of the self. It is not about physical death, but about shedding one version of yourself to become something new. Bingo's dream follows this pattern exactly. She starts in a familiar place, but is quickly pulled away from it. She is guided by something greater than herself, something that provides reassurance before she moves forward. She loses what she knows, her attachment to Floppy, the comfort of space, and the idea of staying somewhere safe. She reaches a turning point, Pluto, but does not stay. Instead, she allows herself to fall. Her burial in the earth is the final stage. She surrenders to it, accepting the end of what came before. Only after this moment does she wake up. She is still Bingo, but something has changed. Something has been left behind, and something new has taken its place. Bingo's journey also follows a path seen in many spiritual and philosophical traditions. The idea of detachment, of losing what is familiar in order to reach a higher understanding, is central to Buddhism, Stoicism, and even existential philosophy. She drifts away from home, away from comfort, away from the things she clings to, her mother, her stuffed bunny, her place in the world. Each time, she has a choice. She could panic, she could try to hold on, but she doesn't. This isn't framed as a failure or a punishment. It's a process. She moves forward, even when it means stepping into the unknown. She doesn't fight the changes. She accepts them. And by the end, she doesn't just accept the transformation, she embraces it, burying herself in the earth as if surrendering to something inevitable. The symbolism here is impossible to ignore. The earth is often seen as a place of renewal, a space where things don't truly end. They just take new forms. Trees shed their leaves, but they grow back. The sun disappears, but it always returns. And Bingo, by allowing herself to sink into the ground, is not disappearing. She is becoming something new. Now, for a show aimed at children, Bluey has never shied away from big questions. And Sleepy Time may be one of its most profound explorations of what it means to live and grow. The way Bingo's journey unfolds mirrors real experiences of change and loss. People move away, loved ones pass on. The things that once felt permanent slowly fade into memory. And yet, life doesn't stop. The sun rises even after the longest night. One of the most striking lines in the episode comes from the sun itself.
I'll always be here for you, even if you can't see me.
This is the heart of Sleepy Time. It's not about loss in the sense of complete absence. It's about presence in a different form. Just because something is no longer visible doesn't mean it's gone. Just because someone isn't physically there doesn't mean their love has disappeared. Well, Bluey has explored loss and change in many ways, but Sleepy Time handles it with a quiet simplicity that makes it feel universal. It doesn't use words to explain what's happening. It shows it. The drifting, the letting go, the descent into the earth. It's all told through action, letting the audience feel it rather than just understand it. This theme runs through many episodes of Bluey, whether it's the bittersweet ending of Camping, the unspoken emotions in Grandad, or even the small but meaningful moment in Flatpack where life itself is framed as a cycle. The show constantly reminds viewers that nothing stays the same forever. And that's okay. But after Bingo wakes up, the episode could have ended on a simple, lighthearted note. Instead, Bluey gives us one final moment, one that lingers long after the screen fades to black. Bluey sits alone, watching the sunset. Bandit is next to her, quiet, present, but saying nothing. It's a rare moment where Bluey, the character who always fills the screen with energy and curiosity, is completely still. And then the words come back. She'll always be here, even if we can't see her. There's something deeply moving about this. It's not just about Bingo's dream anymore. It's about life itself. It's about people we've loved, places we've left behind, and moments that exist only in memory. It's about the fact that even when things change, even when we lose something, it doesn't truly disappear. It's in the warmth of the sun, it's in the quiet presence of a loved one sitting beside you. It's in the way we carry those we love with us, even when they're gone. So, if this breakdown hit you in a way you didn't expect, Bandit always seems like the fun-loving dad. He's full of jokes, always up for a game, and looks like he's got it all figured out. But what if there's more to his story? What if, behind that smile, there's a side of Bandit that we've all been missing? Let's be honest, Bandit and Chili's relationship has always felt real. They love each other, sure, but they also argue. They snap, they sigh, and sometimes they just look done. It's not perfect, but hey, no marriage is. Except lately, fans have noticed something else. Something strange. Something that keeps pointing back to one person. Wendy. Yeah, that Wendy. Next door neighbor. Judo's mum. Queen of the side-eye. For most of the show, her vibe with Bandit has been icy at best. He jokes and she rolls her eyes. He messes around, she clearly wants him gone. It was kinda their thing.
Wendy, do you know I like to smack my bum as hard as I can? Ooh, ow, ooh, ow, ooh, ah, ah, ow, ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
But then came season 3, and suddenly things started to feel different. In Sheepdog, Bandit and Wendy spend way more time together than usual. And it's not just quick chit-chat over the fence. Nope. At one point, Bandit headbutts her butt. Not even kidding. Full-on head-to-backside contact. It's fast, it's goofy, but it's also weirdly casual. Like, who does that to their neighbor?
Oh dear.
That will not happen twice.
Wendy's reaction? Not the usual, go away face. It's more chill, like she's used to it. Like, this isn't the first time. And then she's cutting his hair.
Down, you big sook. Hi, Wendy. Yep, all good here. Just sorting out this mullet. Relax. I'll pop him over the fence when he's done.
Hold up. That's not neighbor helping out energy. That's I know your cowlicks energy. That's trust. That's comfort. You don't just hand your head over to anyone with scissors unless you know them really well. Then comes Ragdoll. And if things weren't weird enough, Bandit starts talking about Wendy's legs, specifically her quads. He compliments them out loud to her face.
Look at those quads.
Now sure, maybe he's just being friendly, or maybe he thinks he's at a gym. But come on, it's not the kind of thing most married dads say to the neighbor, especially not with that tone. And episode Dirt, that's where everything goes full soap opera. Bandit sees Wendy and instantly notices her haircut. Not in a hey new hair kind of way. No, this is full attention. He notices, he compliments. Wendy smiles. It's weirdly warm, like there's a whole secret show happening in the background.
Morning again, Wendy. Ooh, I like the new look.
Thanks.
What brought that on?
And once you see it, you can't unsee it. This isn't just one moment. It's a bunch of small ones stacked together and they paint a picture. A slightly awkward, possibly flirty, definitely something kind of picture. And fans online have clocked it. Reddit is full of theories. Some say Bandit and Wendy had a thing before he met Chili. Others think there's still something going on. No matter what side you're on, there's no denying the shift. Wendy used to look like she couldn't stand Bandit. Now, she's smiling, she's laughing, she's touching his hair. And Chili? Yeah, she feels it too. Maybe not with words, but in little ways. The way she argues with Bandit, the heaviness in their chats, that feeling that something's off. And then there's the episode Dance Mode. Chili's dancing her heart out in the street, and Wendy looks uncomfortable. Not this is cringy, uncomfortable, but why is everyone looking at her? Uncomfortable. Then Lucky's dad says something nice about Chili, and Bandit's face changes. Almost like jealousy.
Woo! Shake it, Chili!
It's subtle, but it's there. No one's saying Bandit's cheating, but there's a reason this theory won't go away. The vibe has changed. The looks, the jokes, the quiet tension, something's up. And honestly, it's hard to believe it's just neighborly love. But in the episode Fruit Bat, Chili says something that's easy to miss. But once you hear it, you can't unhear it.
What's Dad doing?
I'd say he's dreaming about playing touch football with his mates.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't get to play that much anymore, so he keeps having dreams about it.
Why doesn't he get to play it for real life?
Well, he's busy, sweetheart.
And just like that, we see Bandit in a whole new light. Before he became a dad, Bandit had dreams, big ones. He wanted to be a professional footy player. In Australia, that's not just a fun weekend hobby, it's a serious goal. And by the sound of it, he was pretty good. But somewhere along the way, life changed. He met Chili. They fell in love, got married, had kids, and that dream quietly drifted away. He doesn't seem bitter about it, but that doesn't mean he never wonders what might have happened if he'd kept chasing it. While Bluey runs around the house pretending to be a flying fruit bat, Bandit just stands back and watches. You can almost feel that little tug inside him, like maybe he misses being the one pretending to. Bandit and Chili usually feel like a dream team. They back each other up, laugh through the chaos, and keep things running. But then there's this moment. Bandit is talking with his friend Fido, and something slips out.
I'm keen to get it done, but Chili, she wants to keep her options open, but I don't know. Do we want any more of these things running around?
He's talking about kids. Chili might want one more, but Bandit's already closed that chapter in his mind. It's a small line, but it carries weight. He's tired. I mean, he loves his family, but more of them? That's not what he wants. And in that moment, he doesn't seem like the playful, easygoing dad we always see. He seems human and a little worn out, like maybe there's more going on inside than we realized. But Bandit isn't usually the quiet type. This is a guy who makes brushing teeth feel like a sport. He turns vacuuming into a dance battle. He's the king of silly voices and backyard games. But every now and then, if you look closely, something feels off. In the episode Stickbird, Bandit just kind of zones out. He's sitting there on the beach, staring into the distance like he forgot how to blink. Bluey and Bingo are right there, but he's not really paying attention. It's like his brain went on a little holiday without telling him. Then, in Duck Cake, things get even messier. Bandit's trying to make a duck-shaped cake for Bingo's birthday. He tries. He really tries. But the cake looks like it's been through a car wash. And then, he just sits down and cries. Not a little tear. Full-on dad meltdown. Right in front of Bingo. Over a cake? Or maybe not just the cake.
Oh, duck cake!
Oh, that's not good. Are you okay, Dad?
Yeah, mate, I'm okay.
Don't worry.
Most days, Bandit acts like he's got it all together. But these small moments, they show the cracks. The guy's tired. He's trying. But sometimes, the fun dad mask slips, and what's underneath looks a lot more human. Maybe it's stress. Maybe it's old dreams sneaking back in. Or maybe the cake really was that bad. Alright, time to talk about the moment that made every Bluey fan gasp. Up until now, Bandit was the goofy dad. He's always the one playing around, being silly with Bluey and Bingo. He was the dad everyone could count on for a laugh, right? But then came the episode Obstacle Course, and out came the Bandit we didn't expect. Straight up villain mode. The day starts off pretty normally, like any other. The family's relaxing at home, chilling out, no big deal. But then, Bandit starts teasing. He gets a little playful, poking fun at the girls and being his usual mischievous self. Chili, of course, tells him to calm down, but does Bandit listen? Nah, he just keeps pushing. Cut to Bluey and Bingo, who've built their own obstacle course outside. It's cute, it's fun, they're just having a blast. But Bandit, he strolls outside like he's about to compete in the Olympics. He sees their course, and suddenly, it's no longer just fun, it's a race. The girls are not interested in making it a competition. They just want to play. But Bandit is not having it. He laughs, calls them slow, and pushes them into a race they didn't want. It's rude, but Bandit just rushes it off.
Ah, I see.
Now, Bandit takes it a step further. He bribes them with rewards just to get them to join his competition. What was once a fun, casual obstacle course is now all about winning and dominating. The fun's gone. In the first race, Bandit wins. Shocker, right? But Bluey doesn't give up. She keeps trying and getting faster with each round. Now, we're at the final race. Bluey is ahead, practically one step away from winning. And then, Bandit cheats. It's a moment that makes the room go silent. Chili is in pure rage. Bingo is stunned into silence. Bluey is heartbroken. It's not just the race anymore. It's a betrayal, the disappointment, the shock of seeing her dad pull a move like that. The mood shifts completely in that moment, and it's hard not to feel for Bluey. Bandit, who was supposed to be the goofy, lovable dad, just crossed a line. It's a moment that no one saw coming, and it really makes you think about Bandit in a different light. Look, Bandit's made some questionable choices before, but what happened in this episode wasn't just a mistake. No, that was a choice he made. And now, fans are left wondering, what's really going on with Bandit? Is he secretly a terrible dad? It sure feels like he could be. He's been joking around, acting like the fun dad, but then there's the strange stuff, like the power moves, the weird flirting with Wendy, and now cheating in a simple race with his own daughter. It all adds up, but maybe we're not seeing the whole picture. Because here's the thing about Bandit. He's not like most cartoon dads. He's not just the funny guy or the always wise dad figure. No, Bandit is messy. He makes mistakes. He's selfish sometimes. And yeah, sometimes he's really selfish. But he loves his family. He plays with Bluey and Bingo. He shows up for them. He just doesn't always get it right. Does that sound familiar? Because Bandit is pretty much like every parent ever. He's not perfect, not by a long shot. He loses his patience. He makes bad decisions. He lets his ego get in the way. And sure, he cheats at obstacle courses and acts like a total sore loser. But let's be honest, who hasn't gotten way too competitive with their kids? Who hasn't pushed a joke too far or let their own frustrations take over? It doesn't make Bandit a bad guy. It just makes him real. Now, about Wendy? Yeah, that's still weird. What's going on with those two? No one really knows. But if we're being honest, Bandit and Chili have always had their ups and downs. They argue. They're not always on the same page. And sure, if they ever did split up, it wouldn't be the first time a kid's show threw in a curveball like that. But coming back to the big moment, the one where Bandit cheated and hurt Bluey's feelings, that was a huge letdown. No excuses, no, but he meant well. He messed up big time. There's no way to sugarcoat that. What Bandit did was wrong, but maybe that's the point. This show isn't about perfect parents who always get it right. It's about real parents who screw up, who make mistakes, but who also try to do better. Bandit isn't evil. He's just human, and that's what makes Bluey so special. It doesn't shy away from showing the messiness of life, even for cartoon characters. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not about being perfect. It's about being real, owning your mistakes, and trying to be better. And that's something we can all take away from this moment with Bandit. But what do you think? Does he have a dark side, or is he just being human? Season 4 of Bluey is almost here, and it's packed with surprises. And guess what? One familiar face is about to steal the spotlight. Muffin is back, and she's looking a little different this time. We all know her as the wild one, always stirring up trouble and keeping everyone on their toes. But in Season 4, we're going to see a new, calmer side of her. Yep, you heard that right. You might remember the Muffin unboxing minisode. That's where we saw her start her own toy review channel, gaining a serious following. It's more than just a fun hobby now. It's teaching her patience, focus, and maybe even a little self-control. And for someone like Muffin, that's huge. So, what does this mean for her and her parents? Trixie and Stripe have spent years trying to keep up with Muffin's wild energy, but if she's learning to manage herself, could they finally get a break? No more endless chaos, just a little peace? But here's the twist. Parenting without the constant whirlwind might feel too quiet for them. They've lived with Muffin's mayhem for so long, it might be strange without it. One thing's for sure, Muffin's changing, and whatever happens, the Healer family won't be the same without her signature brand of mayhem. Whether that's a good or bad thing, well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, you're right here.
But there's a bigger change in healers' lives. It's been a while since Grandpa Bob last popped up in Bluey. After disappearing for a long stretch, he made a surprise return at the end of Season 3, straight from India. And now, it looks like Grandpa might be sticking around. He's back with his granddaughters, and his role in Season 4 could be even bigger than before. But there's something we still don't fully understand about Bob, a question that's been lingering since we last saw him. Why does he struggle with remembering things? It's been brushed off as a joke in the past, like when he forgot Bandit's name completely. But could it be something more serious? On one hand, it's easy to say it's just a sign of getting older. As we age, little things start slipping through the cracks. Names, places, and even small moments fade away, just like an overloaded shelf where things start to fall off. But there's another possibility that's a bit tougher to think about. What if it's not just forgetfulness? Memory loss can sometimes point to something more, something like Alzheimer's. It can begin slowly, with names and memories fading away piece by piece. It's a hard thought, but it's also a real possibility as people age. And if anyone can dive into tough topics like this with care, it's Bluey. So, if Grandpa Bob is facing memory loss, his family won't let him go through it alone. Bandit, Chili, Bluey, and Bingo will be right there, supporting him no matter what. And who knows, if this becomes part of the story, in Season 4, we could see a completely different side of Grandpa Bob. Now, if you've been paying attention, you'll have noticed that toward the end of Season 3, Bluey started shifting focus away from Bluey and Bingo. Episodes like Cricket and Space looked into characters like Rusty and Mackenzie. Even Wild Girls took the spotlight off the Healer sisters and centered on Coco, Chloe, and Indy. But in Season 4, things take a huge turn. The side characters aren't just getting their moments, they're stepping right into the spotlight. And guess who's leading the charge? Chloe. Bluey's best friend has always been there, smart, kind, and ready for any adventure. But this season, she's getting a lot more focus. In fact, there are rumors that she might even get a full episode dedicated to her. So, why all this attention on Chloe? It all comes down to something pretty cool. Lego. Last month, Bluey launched its own Lego sets, and out of all the characters, Chloe is the only one outside of the Healer family to get her own Lego figure. But that's not all. One of the 5 new sets is entirely based on Chloe and Bluey at the playground. That's a pretty big sign that Chloe's about to have her moment. There's also a fun fact about Chloe. She's actually based on a real Dalmatian named Chloe, who was the childhood pet of Bluey's creator, Joe Brumm. With that personal connection, it's no wonder Chloe's finally getting the spotlight. She's been part of the show from the very start, even having the first ever birthday on screen in the episode Featherwand, turning 7. Now, after all this time, it looks like Chloe is ready for her big moment in Season 4, and we can't wait to see what's next for her. But that's not all that's changing in Season 4. One thing that really sets Bluey apart from other cartoons is how its characters actually grow. While most animated kids stay the same age forever, think Peppa Pig, Bluey and Bingo have been aging right alongside us. And in Season 4, that growth is about to become even clearer. By the end of Season 3, Bluey was 7 and Bingo had just turned 5. We saw that milestone in Handstand. Now, in Season 4, Bluey is moving up in the world, probably to 2nd or 3rd grade. As for Bingo, she's getting ready to leave the younger kids behind and take that big step into school life. So, where will Bingo go? Will she follow Bluey to the now famous Glasshouse Primary, or will she head somewhere totally different? If she stays at Glasshouse, she'll be walking the same halls as her big sister, maybe even making friends with Bluey's old buddies. But if she's off to a new school, she could be meeting new friends and having her own adventures apart from Bluey's world. One thing's for sure, Bingo is about to become a lot more independent. We've already seen hints of it. In Daddy Drop-Off, she faced a tough morning with bravery, and in The Creek, she stepped out of her comfort zone and embraced a new adventure. It's a big change from the quiet, shy Bingo we saw in episodes like Hairdressers and Dance Mode. Bingo's not just getting older, she's growing into a more confident, brave version of herself. And with all this development, there's a chance we might see an even bigger role for her in the future. Could she be ready for a new challenge as a big sister? Only time will tell, but it's clear. Season 4 is setting Bingo up for something big. Anyways, to my surprise, the Healer household might be expanding. But who's coming? The first clue appeared in the Season 3 finale, The Sign, when Auntie Brandy showed up with a baby bump. For those who remember her story, this moment was a huge milestone. We've seen Auntie Brandy struggle with infertility over the years, especially in the Onesies episode, where we learned just how deeply she wanted to become a mom. After years of heartbreak, it looks like her dream is finally coming true. But Auntie Brandy isn't the only one with baby news. There's been a lot of talk over the years about whether Bandit and Chili will have another child. Back in the show, we learned about Chili's heartbreaking miscarriage before Bluey was born. It's clear that loss still weighs on her, and it adds a layer of depth to her character. No matter how much time passes, it's something she carries with her, quietly, but always present. But that's not all. In the first episode of Season 3, Perfect, there's another key moment. Bandit Bandit and Fido have a casual conversation about vasectomies.
I'm keen to get it done, but Chili, she wants to keep her options open, but I don't know. Do we want any more of these things running around?
Bandit is ready to go through with it, but Chili isn't so sure. She wants to keep her options open. At the time, it seemed like just another small, everyday chat. But now, looking back, it feels like it might have been a subtle hint, foreshadowing something much bigger for Season 4. Could this be the season where we finally see a new addition to the Healer family? Still not convinced? Let's take it a step further. If you go back to Bluey's very first promotional image from 2018, you'll see something interesting. In the picture, you can spot Bandit, Chili, Bluey, and Bingo. But wait, there's a tiny paw resting on Chili's belly. At first, it seemed like just a cute detail, but as fans pointed out, this wasn't from fan art. It was part of the official press materials when the series launched. This is where things get even more intriguing. When creators pitch shows to networks, they usually outline long-term plans for the series. This tiny paw could have been a clue all along, a hint that the Healer family wasn't just meant to be 4 members. Maybe it was always meant to be 5, and now, in Season 4, it's finally time for that new family member to arrive. Of course, none of this is confirmed yet. The Bluey team has kept things under wraps, and even the most reliable sources haven't spilled the beans. But with all these clues, it's hard not to speculate. So, who will this new Healer pup be? Some fans thought it would be a red Healer boy named Bruno, since Bluey is the only one with blue fur. Others have thrown out the name Buddy, which sounds pretty cute, but maybe it won't be a boy at all. Some fans are hoping for another sister, and a lot of people are warming up to the name Bella. No matter who this new pup turns out to be, there's one thing for sure. They'll be joining one of the most loving families on TV. With Bluey and Bingo as big sisters, Bandit and Chili as parents, and the entire Bluey fan base ready to welcome them, this new family member is in for a lot of love and adventure. So, who is it going to be? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Now, we've already talked about new additions to the Healer family, but how about a wedding? Well, it looks like Season 4 might just surprise us with one. This time, it's all about Cornelius. If you remember Cornelius, Winton's dad, you know he's had quite the journey. Last time we saw him, he was moving in with the terrier's mom, leaving behind his lonely park bench days. If that's not a sign of something big, we don't know what is. A wedding could be right around the corner, and what better way to bring everyone together than a big celebration? But this wedding wouldn't just be about Cornelius and the terrier's mom tying the knot. It means Winton's family is about to get a lot bigger. Instead of just him and his dad, Winton will have 3 new siblings, the terrier pups. From what we've already seen, these pups are getting along great, sitting together at school and probably playing just as much at home. But wait, what if the terrier's mom and Cornelius decide to add even more to the family? A new pup could join the mix, making their family the biggest one in Bluey. That's bound to lead to some hilarious and heartwarming moments, especially with so many pups running around. So, with all these surprises ahead in Season 4, what are you most excited about? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure to subscribe so you never miss a Bluey update.